You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com, follow us on Twitter at Michigan_Truth, and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And welcome to episode 319 of the Week in Review of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast. I'm Taylor Phillips, along with Buck Geno. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Follow Buck Geno on Twitter at Buck Geno III, triple I for Roman numerals. Very short and sweet episode coming up. Not much to talk about. Nothing too serious, to be honest with you. Just a recap of the week that was. The Pistons not doing, just narrowing it down in terms of the head coaching situation. The Tigers finally tanking like good little boys, and the draft, and got some Ben Simon, got some Grand Rapids Griffins head coaching news as well. So let's get down to it.
Left sideline, the answers.
The Pistons have narrowed their head coaching job vacancy search down to Dwayne Casey and a recently interviewed San Antonio Spurs assistant coach Ime Oduka. Since then, nothing.
Well, I don't know if the Pistons narrowed it down or if John Beilein did him a favor, depending on who you talk to. I think that John Beilein had the Pistons' attention. At the same time, I don't know how serious they were about hiring him. I think when you look at the situation that John Beilein would be leaving, it would be very tough for him to leave that situation. Michigan obviously would like to have him back. Ward Manuel apparently has drawn up an offer or has worked up some sort of extension that they'll be presenting him in the next couple of days here, and apparently both sides are satisfied with it, or at least have given the indication that they will be. So it was a little tough ride for a lot of Michigan fans, especially Michigan basketball fans that thought John Beilein might not be the head coach of the Wolverines anymore. It would have sent them scrambling to find a head coach who probably would have come from within at this point just because of the lateness of the move. But John Beilein decided against it, and there's a lot of reasons that he decided to come back. There's also some reasons that he might have gone forward, but that's neither here nor there now. So it really comes down to either Dwayne Casey or Ime Oduka. So he doesn't have the miles on him that Dwayne Casey does. But obviously the San Antonio Spurs is a great organization, a history of winning for the last 20 years of experience, and also the fact that they're playing right now with a roster that really can't be tinkered with too much. They don't have any salary cap room when you talk about being over the luxury tax. So anything they do, instead of 6 shed salary, is going to cost them more money. So you're saying that would be disappointed with Oduka because he obviously is coming from a good pedigree. He's coming from the same.
We're still keeping an eye on things, but since then, nothing. Again, like I mentioned before. So, transitioning from Pistons to Tigers here.
That one is long gone.
The Tigers lose 2 of 3 each to the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park and the Cleveland Indians at Comerica Park. The Cleveland Indians improved to 34-29. The Tigers dropped to 31-36, still second place in the American League Comedy Central, 5 games back of the Tribe, and now 11 games back, yet 3 spots back of the wild card spots, but 11 games back of the wild card. Man, they're starting to decline. They're starting to tank. Boston and Cleveland taught them a very valuable lesson.
Well, as we get into the depth of the summer here, we're getting into the June, July, August months, and the Tigers had a pretty precarious grip on second place, even though they got very close to the top of the hill in that earlier series against Cleveland last month. They weren't able to make that jump up to the first place tie, and ever since then it's just been kind of a slow decline down back to second. The Twins have faded a little bit, so the Tigers remain in second, but it's just kind of like holding on to a wet rail, hanging off a bridge. The Tigers are their grip is weakening when it comes to being able to stay within striking distance of the Cleveland Indians. The Indians seem to be finally perhaps hitting their stride, looking like a more complete baseball team than the team that was in the Comerica Park last month. And the Tigers still struggling with consistency, and we don't think that's going to really change, because I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. That's what they're going to be best at, is being inconsistent. They're going to have games or stretches where they look very good, but those are going to be overshadowed by longer stretches and worse stretches of them being bad. So even though they looked semi-competent for some of this week, the fact remains is they're not a great baseball team. The only reason that people are mildly interested in them right now is because they're in second place in a terrible division. And, you have guys that are going to come to the ballpark every day, and they're going to give it their best, and sometimes that might be good, and sometimes it might not be.
In terms of players.
Right. I mean, as far as the players go, they're going to try hard. Ron Gardenhire somehow was able to get Victor Martinez out of the cleanup spot. I don't know, maybe he just made a mistake and thought he wrote him out of the cleanup spot, but that's a small step a small victory, I should say, for him to get Victor Martinez out of the 4th spot, but then he puts him in the 5th spot, which really doesn't help a whole lot. Not that they have a lot of options instead, but this is a team that wasn't expected to go anywhere. They're not going anywhere. And I think what you really have to point to is the draft. That happened this week. We'll get into that a little bit. And also just the development of the players that they're showcasing. Guys like Yammer Candelario and guys that they've gotten from the trades that they did last year. And really, they're probably looking at making more trades this year. I don't know what else they can trade. There's not a lot of guys that are driving up their trade value right now that they'd be willing to trade, but stranger things have happened, and we'll see where they end up with on July 31st as far as prospects and picks and everything else once they do their yearly house cleaning, which teams that rebuild should be doing. When they're not going to be contending, they should be house cleaning, and that's what the Tigers should be doing on July 31st or before.
Yep. And speaking of the Tigers, they finished drafting their younger guys, and that's what we're going to get to in our What's Your Grade segment right about now. Oh, come on.
That one is...
So... Oh, drat. Our stupid studio's not working.
It doesn't want to work. It doesn't want us to grade.
Well, we'll grade without it. Forget it. So, just 2 events, and we'll start with the Tigers in the MLB Draft as a whole. They drafted Casey Mize, Cody Clemens, and others.
Yeah, those are the 2 notable names, obviously, the first 2 picks of their draft. Actually, the first 3 rounds of their draft went pretty well. And is not a stretch. I feel like you're putting a little bit too much weight on the selection of Mize. When you have the first pick, you're expected to get the best player. So your draft grade should be high regardless. But looking at the people that analyze these things and really get into the nitty-gritty of it, there's a lot of consensus that the Tigers did pretty well for themselves. And I don't know if I can give them a full-on A, because I think there's still some positions that they might be lacking at. But when you're talking about the MLB Draft,
pencils down, everyone. It's time to find out
it's a crapshoot, just like every other draft is, because you can analyze and do all these things, and the guy that you draft might turn out to be great, or he might turn out to be a dud. The one interesting stat that I've seen is that there are only 5 players that were drafted number one overall that won a World Series with the team that they were drafted by. So that's an interesting stat that I saw today. That's not to say that Casey Mize is going to or not going to win a World Series with the Tigers, but it's just something to keep an eye on, because all these people that get excited about draft picks, and for some reason, there's good reason behind it. But I think that I'm going to grade this an A- simply because with the number 1 pick, you should be getting the best player. And the consensus was at the time of the draft that Casey Mize was the best player, regardless of him being a position player or a pitcher. And so the Tigers took him. It really goes into the other parts of the draft where you see the guys that aren't as heralded, but still can produce solid careers. And when you look at what the Tigers went out and did, they were able to fill in some positions that they desperately needed depth in. And depending on how these kids pan out, there's a lot of guys that are just, if you look at Cody Clemens, who's still playing with Texas,
Crushed a home run.
College in the regionals, in the NCAA regionals, and he's doing well so far. And Casey Mize, after he was drafted, had a terrible start. So,
it doesn't mean
go up and
anything.
down with these things.
He's still the number 1 pick.
It doesn't, just because he had a terrible start doesn't mean anything. I mean,
Right.
Alex Ryan last year was drafted, and he had a hell of a College World Series, and then they shut him down for the rest of the year because he had thrown a lot of innings with Florida, and they didn't really need to see anything else. So, I mean, to try to take stock of Casey Mize after he was drafted with a bad start against Florida, well, you get into dangerous territory there. So, I think the Tigers did well. I'm giving them an A- because, like I said, they filled a lot of positions they needed some depth at, and because they were able to do so, that's why I'm giving them an A-.
Yep. Okay. So we finally got the soundboard, the studio app working. So second event. And of course, the Red Wings are not what we're going to talk about, but the Griffins, affiliated by the Red Wings, are what we're going to talk about, and that is them hiring Ben Simon as their new head coach. I want some analysis, and then I want a grade.
Well, Ben Simon was an assistant coach last year with the Griffins, and he's been an assistant for a couple of years. He was in the Toronto Marlies organization, or the Toronto Maple Leafs organization before then, and he's a highly regarded person in the coaching ranks, and many felt it was a matter of time before he got a head coaching spot, whether that be in the AHL or the ECHL or somewhere. What I think it does for the Griffins, after Todd Nelson left for Dallas, is it gives them some continuity, and that's one thing that the Red Wings have always tried to preach in their minor league system is continuity, consistency. And they don't want to rock the boat too much. And hiring Ben Simon, who's familiar with most of the players, the guys are going to be coming back at least. He's got experience with them. He knows them. He's seen them play. Bringing somebody from outside the organization, especially as late in the game as this, is sometimes difficult because you got a new guy coming in, and he has to get familiar with the systems and the things that the Red Wings want him to do. That's not going to happen here. So Ben Simon is a pretty easy choice for the Griffins. Whether it's the right choice or not will remain to be seen, but they did this with continuity in mind, and I don't really necessarily I oppose the hire, I guess. I don't think it was a bad hire. At the same time, people look at how the Griffins performed this year, and there are some questions with the fact that they were booted out of the playoffs in the first round. They had a pretty underwhelming start before they got hot and were able to get all the way up into second place in their division. But when it comes down to it, they hired the coach that they were most comfortable with. They didn't want to do a prolonged search. They didn't really want to have to indoctrinate somebody into their system or get them familiar with everybody. So Ben Simon, who was there, and there were some rumors that he might be looking at going back to Toronto instead if he wasn't given the head coaching job at Grand Rapids. And so what they were able to do for the Griffins was keep some sort of structure by hiring Ben Simon. So I'm going to give this one a solid B. It's his first head coaching job, which typically the Griffins aren't willing to do. They're looking for guys with experience, but at the same time, he has knowledge of the organization. He's been there. He played the game just like Todd Nelson did, so he knows what the guys are going through. And so I think it's a solid hire. I don't know if there would have been somebody else that really was in mind. They made the decision rather quickly. So I think there was a contingency plan because they knew Todd Nelson was probably going to be moving on. So they probably made that decision before too long after Coach Nelson was gone. They did some other interviews, but it looked like Ben Simon was their main target, and they acted pretty quickly on that.
Yep, all right. So that wraps up our What's Your Grade segment. So for our audience, if they have a grade for those two events, post them in the comment bank at this episode, and please don't go out of line. Well, like we promised, that was short and sweet. That's episode 319 of the Week in Review. Before we sign off, we want to remind everyone to share this episode and our entire podcast on social media and have their friends share that as well, because we want to tell them that the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast is searching for a wider audience that is fans of sports, especially our teams in the state of Michigan. So please spread the word about the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts via iTunes, its Facebook page, and its Twitter handle at Michigan_Truth. There is no game for the Tigers on Monday, so we will not be on the air until Tuesday unless there's a special report. Buck Geno, thanks very much for the analysis, especially on Ben Simon and the MLB Draft. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Yep. And for Buck Geno, I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Let me see here. Music bit. There we go. Yep. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips and Buck Geno on Twitter at BuckGeno3rd. We'll talk to you next week on episode 320 of the Week in Review. Thanks very much for listening, downloading, and sharing. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Bon appétit.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.